Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today on the channel we are going to talk about things you have to pay attention to when building houses in Africa. Normally we know engineers and architects are the people who build houses, but in that part of the world, that is Africa, masons take part in construction. And normally they don't put some things into consideration when building houses which can affect the strength and properties of the building. Without wasting much time, let's get started. Now, first on the list is dampness. Dampness is really affecting most of the buildings in Africa. They don't pay much attention to it, but then it's really reducing the strength and properties of the buildings we have in Africa. This comes about when water rises through the pores of the walls of the building. Due to the water table of the land, it really affects the strength of the walls and it affects the properties of the wall. Now, this can be prevented. Dampness can be prevented. It can be prevented in many ways, but then I'm going to show you the best ways we can prevent it. You can use hydrophobic blocks, that is plastic blocks for the first layer of the block which will come above the land. And it will prevent water from rising through the pores of the blocks due to capillary action. It can prevent capillary action from taking place. Now, as we all know, capillary action is the rise and fall of liquid to rise through tubes or pores of buildings or anything. So then to prevent this, when we use the plastic blocks, water cannot rise through it and it can help to prevent dampness from happening to the building. And this is the best way of preventing dampness in building. Now, second on the list is the use of admixtures. Admixtures help in the workability, durability, and the strength of concrete. As we all know, water and cement ratio is very important in concrete production. So during hydration, we need the water and the cement to react during hydration. And with the use of admixtures, it helps you to get the balanced ratio for concrete production. And the best way to use the admixtures is to use plasticizers or super plasticizers in concrete production, which will prevent the dampness, as in the rising of water through the pores of the blocks, which can help to prevent dampness totally. Right. So in this case, admixtures will be used in the concrete production for making the concrete slab of the building, which will help to prevent the rising of water through the pores of the concrete. Now, third on the list is the injection method. This injection method is very expensive to do, but it's one of the best methods also. In this method, you inject the hydrophobic material into the walls of the building, as in above the surface of the land. The first block which comes out, you inject the hydrophobic material into it, and it forms a rubber-like surface on the walls, which will prevent the rise of the water through the pores of the walls. And it is one of the best methods. This method can also be used for repair. That is when the dampness has already occurred and you want to repair it, you can use this method to prevent it. Now, fourth on the list is the use of waterproofing paint. Now, this waterproofing paint contains bitumen, and this bitumen prevents water from rising through the pores of the building. It impedes capillary action, simple as that. So it prevents water from rising through the pores of the building because it contains bitumen. Now, another place you have to pay attention to is the dampness of the ceiling. Normally, this happens in the bathrooms of buildings. And in Africa precisely, their windows are very small. So it is advisable to do big and wide windows for the building so that there will be ventilation in the room and it will help to prevent condensation on the ceiling. Now, another problem that you have to pay attention to is the salt concentration of the land. Normally, when the place that you are building your house, the salt concentration of the land is very high, the salt precipitates on the concrete slab, and even when you lay your tiles, the tiles tends to move, as in to deteriorate. So then it's better and best to use admixtures for your concrete slab. It is the best way. Use admixtures for the concrete slab, which will help to prevent the salt concentration from coming out, because one, the admixtures improve the strength, the durability, the workability, and improves everything about concrete, which helps to improve the strength. So it is the best way to prevent such precipitation on the land is to use admixtures. Now, second, people use rubber for the concrete slab. Before they lay the concrete, they use rubber to lay on the soil before they lay the concrete on it. Now, normally the adhesion properties is reduced, but then it's cheap, but then it is okay. It helps to, it is better than none. It is better than none. So I will advise you to use admixtures in this way round. But then when you don't have enough money, you use rubber to lay on the surface before you lay your concrete slab. Now, last but not least is the roofing. Now, here is the problem. Let me start with the parapet roof, as in the hidden roof. With the hidden roof, when there is not enough slope in the roof, the water impedes, as in it impedes on the retaining walls of the block, which helps to reduce the strength of the retaining wall. So then I will advise you that when you are doing a hidden roof or the parapet roof, you make enough gutters for the water to flow through it. Other than that, you are going to have problems with the retaining walls of the block. Now, this is the advice I will give to people who build houses on the flat land. I will advise you to do French drainage system, as in do small gutters in the houses, because as we all know, when it rains, it stays on the land, and when the land is flat, it goes down into the land. It goes down into the soil. So then when you have these French drainage systems, it will just have its way through and fall into the outside gutters, which helps to prevent water from rising to the buildings, because the water table of the land becomes high. So I'll really advise people that when they do their roofing sheets, they direct it straight into these French drainage systems and it gets its way outside the house. This is one of the best advice I will give to people who build houses on a flat land. Without wasting my time, I thank you for watching my video. See you in my next video. Bye.